Boy was this, like, character that returned again and again and again throughout the seasons of all that.
Pickle Boy likes to hurt and tease Pickles. Hello? Anyone? I gotta get something to eat. A pickle.
We just went with it. Pickles? Look, this is the mind of Dan Schneider. You gotta ask him.
There was this referencing to, like, oh yeah, Dan just has a weird sense of humor.
That was like, the pickles don't look like penises to you?
This is a children's television show. Wait, why is this in the show? What is the joke here exactly? There's this weird element of, like, they all were able to, like, pull a fast one and get away with it. And that's, like, a part of the joke.
Brian Peck worked closely with Dan as this dialogue coach, and Brian is seen as this guy on set who's just helping with the kids. He's very much one of the cogs in the Dan Schneider machine.
I'll see you in hell.
Brian first connected with Dan's world playing small roles in Good Burger and Keenan and Kel.
Let's get these balls a-bouncing.
And there are these behind-the-scenes clips where you see Brian Peck joking around on set.
Hi, I'm not just Pickle Boy, but I'm also a trained professional who works here on the set of all that. You can tell by my very important-looking headset. I'm sorry, hang on. Yeah, do you want fries with that?
Everybody loved Brian. He was charming, he was clever.
But there are moments where Brian joking around on set feels a little bit off.
My name is Drake Bell, and I came here today to tell my story.
Have you ever told your story publicly before?
I have never told my story publicly. No.
Dialogue coach Brian Peck is arrested.
We were still in shock of the announcement that Brian will no longer be working with us. And we're like, what happened?
And when this is announced, it is said that these charges are related to a child actor.
It certainly has all of the ingredients for a huge scandal, but it wasn't.
Drake would be in the dressing room or something, and in would pop Brian, and just touch Drake. You know, do things that, wait a second, what are you doing? Drake can put that on himself. And the thing is, this is in front of people. Then he'd maybe walk over to Drake and be feeding him some lines or whatever and put his arm around his waist, put his hand up on his shoulder and kind of run it down his arm and things like that.
Leo, as you know, is the latest, hottest, hunkiest teen idol there is.
Yeah, his muscles.
I saw this video of Brian Peck on Growing Pains with Leonardo DiCaprio, grabbing his shoulder, running across him and going down his arm. That's the kind of behavior I saw him with my son. Same frickin' behavior. So I went to production and said, you know, I really am very uncomfortable with this guy, Brian Peck, always being around my son. I go, I don't see anything abnormal, but it just doesn't, I don't have a good feeling. And she goes, oh, well, I don't know if you knew it or not, but he's gay. Maybe you're just homophobic and you just, you know, you just don't understand that he's a touchy-feely guy. So I said, okay. And then it just kept not setting well with me.
In hindsight, I should have been able to see, but as a kid, you have no clue. But my dad saw it a mile away. I was sleeping on the couch where I would usually sleep, and I woke up to him. I just opened my eyes, I woke up, and he was and I froze and was in complete shock and had no idea what to do or how to react. You know, he's so apologetic. Oh, this will never happen again. I'm so sorry. You know, that I don't know what got into me, and I crossed the line, and this will never happen again. And well, he figured out how to convince my mom and everyone around to have me, you know, anytime I would have an audition or anytime I needed to work on dialogue or anything, I somehow ended up back at Brian's house. I really don't know how to elaborate on that on camera, really. Why don't you think of the worst stuff that someone could do to somebody as a and that'll answer your question. I don't know how else to put it. It was not a one-time thing. It was not a, oops, no, it is, I mean, and then I got a girlfriend, and I was basically spending all of my time at my girlfriend's house. There was this time that I was at her house, and Brian had planned to take me to Disneyland. I was like, this is not happening. I'm not going, no. And Brian's calling my cell phone nonstop. I was just ignoring it. Well, he started calling my girlfriend's house non-stop. I mean, over and over and over and over. Finally, her mom answered and brought it to me. And he's like, what are you doing? We had plans. People are watching me on the phone, so I just played it off as like, I must have made double plans, but I'm gonna hang here tonight. And he got really upset, and I hung up the phone, and he started calling back and calling back. My girlfriend's mom said, hey Drake, can I talk to you in the kitchen for a second? She shuts the door behind me, so so it's just the two of us. She's like, what's going on? And I go, oh yeah, Brian, we had plans. She goes, no. A 40-something-year-old man does not call my daughter's boyfriend like that. The worst part was I had to make a phone call to Brian and get him to admit what he'd done. It looked like a movie. They had an old-style tape recorder attached to a black phone landline. You know, they had their headphones on. It took a couple times. Then I called. He answers. So I said, I'm really struggling with this stuff now, and I'm so torn up. I'm so broken. I can't. I'm so emotionally distressed right now, and why did this happen? He just started a full-on confession, and then he kept asking me over and over again. He's like, are we being recorded?